touch anybody, leave them alone,
Always
show them, use your... So welcome back everybody. In today's episode, we're gonna be shooting Julio. That was kind of the main attraction today. And then we said we were gonna be shooting motorcycles, so then Andrew came through with his. So we're gonna be doing some rolling shots, but the main idea is we're gonna be shooting with off-camera flash. What we're gonna show you guys is how to shoot with a shoot-through umbrella, which is a very cheap modifier that pretty much anybody can afford, but it changes the look and the quality of your photo significantly. When you're shooting with a bare flash, you're gonna be getting more specular highlights, you're gonna be getting harsher shadows, everything's gonna be, all the shadows are gonna be sharper, people don't look as flattering, right? But when you put a softer light and you bring it really, really close to your subject, it can really change the look and the quality of the light. So with a cheap $10 to $30 umbrella, you can definitely change the look of your photo. So that's kind of the theme of today. You guys are seeing some of the examples, some without an umbrella, some with an umbrella. Get some cool shots. I know that today's main purpose of the video is off-camera lighting, but one thing that I want to talk about is when I started framing it out and I was going to set up the lighting and all that, I noticed that the background is pretty much the same exposure as Julio in the shot. So just because we're shooting with off-camera lighting doesn't mean that we're gonna throw off-camera lighting for every single shot. I'm gonna give a few natural light shots to Julio here with this backdrop before we shift things over a little bit and use off-camera lighting to compensate for the bright background. If you're shooting and it looks nice the way it is, there's no reason to add light just because you have it. That's one thing when you're starting out that some people get carried away because they start understanding off-camera lighting, they wanna use it for everything. And sometimes you don't actually need to use it. So if the lighting is good and you're shooting in the shade, don't overcomplicate your life. Shoot it with nice soft lighting and then use off-camera lighting when you need it. So right now we're gonna do just a few with natural light and then we're gonna move on and do some off-camera lighting shots. I'm gonna put it in silent mode because it makes my life easier to shoot a little quicker and also so it doesn't black out when it takes the photo. Hold that right there, Julio. I'm gonna come in a little bit closer. And I always like to start as zoomed in as possible because on portraits, it's always gonna look a little bit more flattering. So right there, Julio, good, looking here, nice, good. You get all the girls with this one. Yeah. So here's a couple of tips actually. One, if it's windy like it is right now, because you see all of our hair and everything's going all over the place, make sure that you either have a sandbag to weigh this thing down or you have somebody hold it. I would never use an umbrella without an assistant or without a sandbag because you will break it. How do I know? There's a broken one at home. And from just now, like I was gonna bring it and I noticed it was snapped in half. This one, you can even see it's being pushed like that. So Andrew is gonna hold it to make sure that it doesn't fall over or that it doesn't break. If it breaks, whatever. The reason that we don't spend a ton of money on umbrellas, because you can get real expensive ones, they're gonna break. Eventually these things are gonna break. So when you buy them, just make peace with the fact that they're gonna break. That's okay, just try to make them last for as long as you can. The other thing is when you put them on here, just like our team did, if you notice, they put it where the light kind of lines up with the umbrella here. If you put it too close, it's gonna be too tight and essentially it's gonna be like a 14-inch umbrella. So why have such a big umbrella if it's only gonna be that much light because it's gonna be choked. If it's too far away, it's just gonna spill all over the place so you're losing light for no reason. So what you want is you want it to line it up right on this so it spreads as much as possible without it going all over the place. We're about to get blown over. John almost went over there. So yeah, a couple of tips. And then another thing, don't tighten this too much because it will crimp it and you could break it that way. So right now it should be good where it is. Yeah, so now we're gonna do the shot with the umbrella. One thing that I was saying before is the quality of light also depends on how close the light is to him, because if you put a big light source and it's really, really close to him, it's gonna appear very, very soft. If you put a big light source and then you put it 20 feet away, because of the distance, now the flash looks a lot smaller. There would be no point in doing that because at that point you're just spilling light all over the place and you're losing a lot of power and it's not gonna be soft because it's so far away. So the closer the light, the softer it's gonna look. So right now when I do a close-up of Julio, it's gonna be very soft on him because the light is very close. I wouldn't do a close-up of him without a modifier because as you're seeing in the shot right now, it's very harsh. So we're gonna do both. Yeah, the light, I mean, it was a little too harsh before, but look at the quality between the umbrella and now.
Yeah.
You see the shadow?
Yeah.
It's just a lot softer. Let me have you looking this way again, Julio. Let me see. Chin up just a little. Yep, just like that. Hold that. 1, 2, 3. Look at the difference in light. See that?
Yeah.
That's without an umbrella. That's with an umbrella. Let me zoom in so you can see. Look at your skin. You see the quality on that versus the harsher shadows. When you look inside the viewfinder, you really see like how soft it actually looks.
Oh yeah. Oh whoa, what the hell?
Right? Like the quality on it is just very, very soft. So another tip while John is shooting is, I would say generally, keep your hands to yourself. I'm from the school of thought of, I don't like people touching me unless it's invited. So when I'm directing somebody, I don't touch them, I don't position them, I don't grab them, speak to them. I either speak and I tell them what I want, or I show them what I want. So like you guys were seeing, I was positioning myself and telling him to turn like this, but I never grab him. John, excuse me for a second. How aggressive that feels when somebody grabs you and does it. It's not a pleasurable thing. And I know some photographers are like that. Like, I like to position. Don't touch anybody. Leave them alone.
Always
show them. Use your mouth, no diddy. Use your words and use your body language to show them what you want instead of touching people. Shot? Don't worry, Andrew, we can Photoshop whatever hairstyle you want. Yeah. What I'm seeing here, and we probably only have like a minute or two left, you see how the light is hitting the tower? I think that's gonna be really cool because it adds a little element in the background. But if we didn't use a flash, then we have to expose either for Andrew or the background or add it later in post to, you know, make the adjustment. Instead, let's just make it look more dramatic. We're gonna add the flash, we're gonna use the umbrella to give it a really nice soft look, and Andrew's gonna be leaning against his bike. So right here, let's set up the umbrella on this thing. Coño. Hercules apparently tightened this. There we go. Right there, just shove it through the hole, that's what she said. Right there, good. And then Andrew, you're gonna be leaning right there, just kind of looking, I would say, like right over here. And even holding the glasses, I like that. Yep, hold that right there. And
what look like just not
more serious, yeah. And then what I'm also doing here is I'm putting Andrew in that little dip in the horizon. You see it back there, guys? So that little dippity-doo-dah right back there is where I want him so he's not fighting the background. You see what I'm looking at? And we're at full power in this because we're at F10. Well, we could go a little lower. F8, there we go. I can go a little lower on the power, okay, good.
F8 because of looks or because you're trying to fight the flash in the sun?
Yeah, so we're trying to underexpose, so the background, actually, you know what? I'm gonna go to ISO 200, and I'm gonna go to f6.3, because I'm trying to make the background look dark and dramatic, because otherwise that'll get blown out on top. So I'm almost exposing for that bright area in the back, and then I'm bringing you back out of the frame by giving it some flash.
And we don't want to use high-speed sync with an umbrella.
It's unnecessary for this situation because we're not getting depth of field. So since we're not getting really any depth of field, it doesn't make sense to use high-speed sync. I only use high-speed sync when I want depth of field, which we'll do for the next shot. Yep. I placed you exactly so that branch behind you doesn't hit you.
Holy
and
crap.
So that little area.
That looks edited. And yeah, the placement
nice.
right in the slit.
So
Damn, really
be intentional about where you place your subject. Like even right now, I'm criticizing it, the handlebars touching the tree. But if I move you any more, then I kind of pick the lesser of the two evils.
Okay, got it.
I'd rather want the bike touching the tree, but I don't want the tree touching you. So that's kind of. So Andrew was asking about high-speed sync. We have another video on our channel about high-speed sync. We actually have a few videos where some people chewed me out for using a few wrong terms. But in any case, I kept saying AD600, it was a 400, and whatever, who gives a At the end of the day, the equipment doesn't matter. Andrew, let me have you bring it over here. We're gonna use high-speed sync. High-speed sync, like I said, we have another video that explains it, but I'll give you a brief situation of when you would use it. You would use high-speed sync when you want a shallow depth of field. The reason that you only use it for certain situations is because high-speed sync really drains your battery. It really kills it. And so we're only gonna use it when we want something to be or you want your background to be really blurry. So I use it for that shot and then I shut it off for the rest of the day. If you're not getting a shallow depth of field, what's the point of killing your battery? So That's where we're gonna do it now. When the light hits them, it's also gonna light a little bit around because it's so soft. If the light was, harsher, it'll only light here and then it'll be very black on this side. When you put a softer light, it wraps around your subject a lot more. So right around there, we're gonna do some high-speed sync, and I'm gonna step all the way back. Whatever millimeter you're shooting at also affects how blurry your background is. So if you want a really shallow depth of field, then zoom in as much as you can. So we're gonna shoot at 150 millimeters. So now we're shooting at, so I'm at 800th of a second, 2.8, and ISO 200. I'm starting with the flash at half power because more than likely we're gonna need a lot of power, but I can always go down from there if it's too much, which this is high-speed sync, yeah, because not everybody can afford a A9 Mark III. There's a certain photographer on our team, very smug photographer on a motorcycle who has an A9 Mark III. That would not be us. So hold that right there, Andrew. 1, 2, 3. You know what? That pretty much looks correct. Okay. It shows that I've been doing this for 20 years. Like, here's the thing, 800th of a second, 2.8 ISO 200. In high-speed sync, you're not gonna start at a 64th power. You're gonna start at like a quarter or half or even full and then work your way down. I would rather start at full and go down one stop than start at a 64th and like work my way up, until I find it. Because more than likely with a bright background like this, you're gonna be at pretty high flash power. Does that make sense? Dude, that looks badass. What I'm also doing, the reason I had you move over, is that little walkway behind you. The bike is pretty much placed right in the middle of that. So be attentive when you're shooting of your backgrounds. If we're gonna place them here, there's a sign back there, there's a pole over here. Try to hide all that nonsense. Put him so he's in the middle of all this. Let me get this. So the reason why you would wanna use an umbrella, right, or a bigger modifier, is when you want softer lighting. Now, for example, if we were shooting Andrew and we were doing a super wide, as you're seeing right now, some of the shots that we do, we don't use an umbrella for those because you're not really seeing the quality of light as much on your couple. Most of the time, or on your subject, most of the time, when we use an umbrella is when we're doing a little bit more close up. So when we're shooting more close up, where you're really gonna see their skin, then we'll use an umbrella. When we do the super wide ones, give or take, it's more hit or miss. It's more, sometimes we use it, most of the time we don't, because you're not really seeing those highlights on their skin because it's such a wide shot. This is more when you're using more close-up shots like this, or you're doing headshots that you would use a very big light modifier. Exactly like that. Hold that right there. No smile, this is serious business. Right there, 1, 2, 3. Let me check a little bit. Hold that, 1, 2, 3. Let me check. The next Top Gun, the Filipino version.
You know what? The jacket does look like from the.
It has it has a Top Gun look. Yeah.
You got the.
Whoa.
John, is that big enough?
Yeah. I won't make my comments.
Damn, I cut it too short. Say that one more time, John, just like you said it.
Damn, that high-speed sync sure takes up a lot of power.
Yes, so like I said before, only use high-speed sync when it's intentional, when you actually are using it for a reason. I remember, Andrew, not to throw you under the bus, but remember there was a time that you were using high-speed sync during a reception, and then I asked you, I'm like, wait, why are you using high-speed sync? You're like, you didn't really have an answer. And then that's when I explained to you that we only use it, otherwise you're draining your battery in a reception for no reason because you're using 2.8 and you're using under 2/50th of a second anyway. So you were using high-speed sync where your flash is bursting multiple times for no reason. So that's when I said, just be intentional when you use it. You can get very, very technical. At the end of the day, man, it's whatever looks good to you and to your audience, and or even to you. Like at the end of the day, who gives a no one's paying you for it.
Oh, yeah.
You do whatever you want. That's what photography is. That's what art is in general. Like, as long as you feel good about it. There are some photos that I love that technically are incorrect. If you look at a lot of photos in history, some of them are blurry, but they're iconic. It's a moment that you capture that, it's out of focus. Who cares? Those same people would on those photos. Right around there. Go ahead, John.
Okay, both of you look here. That's good, I'm good.
Good?
Yeah,
cool.
Good. You
Want to do some rolling shots?
Yeah, let's do it.
You want to do them?
What is happening?
We'll both do it.
Well, no, because I'll be driving.
2017, the new job.
You don't want me driving your new car. do you?
No. I'll let you. I just figured you'd want to shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah. So guys,
It's unfortunate.
we're gonna do a couple of rolling shots. We're gonna do just two runs.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, cool.
We can hear you.
Wow, nice.
Let me know when you guys are ready, and then we'll just go right on PCH over here. We're getting terrorized by motorcyclists. And then, of course, there's a...
And Elmer, what stop are you thinking about for this?
you're probably going to be at 2.8.
Okay.
Yeah. With the cars, guys, maybe wait until it's a red light. I'm going to stop and wait for you guys, so don't rush. Yeah, so John, you're probably going to be at 2.8, and don't be afraid to bump up your ISO.
Yeah, gotcha.
All right, who wants to race?
You got plenty of experience on me.
No, don't be racing, guys. Everybody behave themselves. We have an ex-police officer in the back.
Head of us in the same lane you're in.
Okay, yeah.
And then have him come up next. And then if we could do both of you side by side.
Oh yeah, there you go, Andy. Yep.
The lane so they can pass.
Yep, there you go. Let these cars go by, yeah. Good call. So John, get ready. We're gonna get Andrew first. Andrew, if you want to speed up a little bit. Yep, there you go. We're gonna go a little faster, okay? All right, so overall, very fun, successful shoot. I mean, this wasn't like a paid gig or anything. We were just doing this for fun. But I feel like every time we do these kinds of shoots, we always learn a little something. So even like when you were shooting, John, with the two of them, and we had the grids on, and you're like, wait, I want a little bit more light on them. I'm like, all right, peel those things off. And now you kind of understand in different situations what modifiers you want to use for what scenario. So using an umbrella to soften things, using a grid to really tighten the beam, using nothing to get more power out of it if you're not shooting, more close-ups. So overall, I think we had a really, really successful shoot, and the guys were really happy with their photos, which that's always fun. And Julio got himself a new profile photo for so on our team, everybody has their own profile, which shows a photo of them, their name, a little about me, and in his about me, he mentioned riding motorcycles, so that's why I wanted to do this shoot, so it shows a little bit of his personality. So yeah, now Julio's profile looks more complete, as you guys are seeing in the shot right now. So thank you guys for watching. If you'd like to subscribe, that would be lovely. And you guys have a good day or night. Bye.